Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm CC Cameron Johnson, and today I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about technology and the effects it has on our productivity today. So to get things started, I'm just going to play a little clip of an interview with Nicholas Carr.
Page as opposed to a web page on a computer screen.
Well, one of the mysteries about these intellectual or cognitive effects of technologies is that until fairly recently we didn't really have a cause. We didn't know why that was going on. But in the last few decades, neuroscientists and psychologists have discovered that our brains are very adaptable at the cellular level. And that's not just when we're kids, as used to be assumed, it's throughout our adult lives. In essence, our brains adapt to what we use them for, and they adapt to the technologies we use. And so the ways of thinking that we engage in a lot get strengthened, and those that we don't engage in get weaker. So if you think about when you read a printed page, the ways of thinking that in effect you're training yourself to do are the ways that require deep attention, close concentration on one thing. In those types of thinking, it turns out, which are hard to do. I think naturally we like to be distracted, but those very attentive ways of thinking have been associated with the ability to create deep memories in our own minds, to create the connections between information and experiences that give richness and depth to our thought, to certain types of
Okay, so we just heard Mr. Carr talk about how neuroscientists discovered that our brains adapt to things that we use now. So that raises my question of, is the internet making us lazy rather than is the internet making us stupid? Or is Google making us stupid, as Carr titled his article? Saying that the internet is making us stupid is giving off the wrong impression that we're no longer capable of doing what we used to, which I don't think is the case. I think we're still perfectly capable of reading lengthy documents on printed pages and analyzing text, but why do that when you can watch a video or get the same amount of information from a web page that's much shorter and easier to access? This actually brings me back to a personal example of whenever I was a senior in high school and we had a sub in English. Our teacher didn't leave any work for us to do, so the sub just gave us these worksheets with just ridiculous words on them. I'm talking words that you wouldn't even see on the SAT on steroids. The first thing we did was pull out our phones to look them up, but she told us that we weren't allowed to do that. And she just told us we had to go find the dictionaries. So we didn't even know where they were. And we ended up finding them in the closet. And then it took us the entire class period just to finish the vocabulary worksheet. We all looked like my grandma trying to figure out the Wi-Fi that she didn't even know it was in her house. So a quote from Nicholas Carr's article says, "The deep reading that used to come naturally has become a struggle." Well, duh, because your brain's just saying, just watch the movie, stupid. Okay, maybe his brain didn't really say that, but nowadays you can really find almost any version of a text in some sort of media format, be it a podcast, a YouTube video, or something just better than a book, which isn't really hard to do. Okay, so again, it's not that the internet is making us stupid, it's just that there's so many more efficient ways to obtain information than the traditional methods like libraries. I mean, Carr even says this himself in his own article. He says, "The web has been a godsend to me as a writer. Research that once required days in the stacks or periodical rooms of libraries can now be done in minutes." Boom, mic drop, just kidding, that was a shaker bottle. Well, change the scenery. Change the scenery. I don't think you need any more evidence than that. This video contained information from the agenda interview of Nicholas Carr with Steve Piken and from Nicholas Carr's article, "Is Google Making Us Stupid?"
That's not in there.